Hello, everyone. It is Rowan Fox at the Tea Leaves Intro Parlor, and I'm here with another Tuesday update of the Great Transition as we are moving through these beautiful changing times. We're moving through what some have called the ascension, moving into the higher 4D, the higher 5D even, as we go through these changing times. And I'm here with my guides right now to help all of you uh, to prepare, how you can best prepare for yourselves, for your families, and how to navigate these very, somewhat challenging times as much as they're changing. And so the first message I have today was one about it's about the election. It's about the U.S. election that is coming up. And just about an hour beforehand, some of you were blowing up my phone saying, you were right, it's Kamala. And I said, well, yeah, my guide said it would be Kamala. So Joe Biden has chosen his running mate, and it is Kamala Harris. He has officially made the announcement. And so now he's taken that step. What I love about this is I often like to say I'm on a need to know basis with my guides. They don't give me too much too far in advance. And that's both frustrating and exciting at the same time. So as I went into meditation with this new information and asked my guides, they're very excited for one thing, because this is really opening up the energy. This is really like basically what they told me was, now it's starting. There is a second phase that is opening up right now. So this is like, they showed it to me in a way that was like, I don't know quite how to explain it, but it was like a timestamp. It was like hitting that mark, that destiny point. It's like this was supposed to happen. And of course, with free will and energy moving so fast these days, free will can get in there and kind of mess things up, right? Well, in this case, what happened is exactly what was supposed to happen. So it's so beautiful. Kamala was elected, and I want everybody just to put their political opinions aside for this for a moment. I want to take a look at it from the larger spiritual picture of our spiritual evolution in the world, and especially here in the US. So if you could just set your political dispositions aside and what you think, and I know that's very difficult to do, but this is such incredible information and so powerful if you could just look at it from a spiritual perspective outside of the scope of politics just for a moment, just right here, right now in this moment. So the first thing I want to say is this election, and I'm saying this and I'm very excited about it, I feel very enthused about it, is going to be a bloodbath. So just get ready. This is going to be a time like no other time. It's going to be one of the most interesting elections we've ever seen in the US. It is going to be profoundly interesting to other countries in the world as they watch this evolve. So let's talk about Kamala. Let's talk about why it had to be Kamala, why she had to be in this position as Joe's running mate. Okay, this was interesting. I love it when I get enlightened like this by my guides. So first of all, they brought me into Kamala's energy and they showed me who she truly is. They're like, okay, Kamala is stepping fully into the energy of the divine feminine, of her divine feminine. She has been prepared for this role for many, many lifetimes. She spent lifetimes as a high priestess in ancient Egypt. They've showed me that she is even bringing in the energy. I'm not so certain if she's the reincarnation of Boudica, but she is bringing in the energy of Boudica to this election and this election experience. She holds both the moon and the sun. She holds the energy of both the moon and the sun, but she knows how to firmly sit in her own power as a woman with grace and ease. And that is something that the other women don't have. They don't have these specific qualities, the specific lifetimes of preparedness that Kamala brings to the table. Then they shot me off and showed me the Statue of Liberty, and they started to talk about the rebirth and the rebirth of our nation. They started to talk about the return of the divine feminine. They started to talk about the goddess energy that is coming down. And so Kamala is a very, very pivotal person to be here stepping into this role now. She has been amply prepared for it. She is surrounded by a ton of light. She brings in a lot of angelic help and a lot of angelic assistance and protection, because she's going to need it. She's going to need it for the role that she's stepping into. And she's also going to need it because she's got a huge target on her back right now. She's going to bring up a lot of stuff that has been hiding in the shadows. And for those of you that have been with me for a while on this great transition journey every Tuesday, you know that 2020 is all about the shadow. It's all about those little pieces of ourselves that we don't like. It's all about the things that we haven't taken care of, the things that we've left hanging out there unfinished. And so that's what's coming up for us individually and for us as a country, and then the world, the whole world. So nobody escapes 2020. You know, the pandemic was just the kickoff for 2020. Now we're we're taking our next step deeper onto that with the 2020 election here in the US, which is going to have an impact worldwide. So as Kamala brings in this energy of the divine feminine, it's really going to shake the patriarchy at its core. And so what that's going to do is we're going to see a lot of the misogynism return, and even women are going to have to look at their own shadow of how they experience their divine feminine and what they think of women and what they think of other women too, because women can be misogynistic as well. So this is really going to be coming up, and we're going to see a lot of it. People are going to have to deal with the different female archetypes and in finding that combination, because Kamala is representing all of this: the virgin, the harlot, the goddess, the enchantress, the mother, the warrioress, the priestess. She's embodying all of those, and she's going to bring these to the forefront as she moves through her initiation, because this is an initiation for her as well as for the rest of us. But as she moves through her initiation into the role of vice president, and I think it's safe to say, sorry, Joe, you're going to be overshadowed. It's just the way it is. So we are really going to be feeling this return of this feminine energy to earth. And we're also going to be seeing some uprisings. We're going to see another women's movement. We're going to see women in the streets fighting for women's rights, fighting for equal rights, fighting for equal pay, fighting for children, because women and children have been really, really neglected in our society for a long time. And so we're going to see those issues that are specific to women and children begin to come up and be addressed in a more holistic way. We're also going to see a lot of other women stepping into their own power because of this. And it's not because people are looking at Kamala and saying, oh, I want to follow in her footsteps. It's because what she did when she stepped into this and is stepping into it right now, into this role, is she is igniting a thread and activating a thread throughout humanity that has been dormant for a very, very long time. And so with the activation of this thread, this dormant thread, we're going to see other people get inspired in different ways and step into their power, specifically women, but also we're going to see the return of the divine masculine in this. So we're going to see men stepping up to support these changes and to support a more holistic way of life, a more holistic way of living. So that is a lot, and I'm sure that Kamala is up for it. I've seen all the support around her, both, in the other realms and the other planes that are coming down for her, and there's also going to be plenty of support for her too in the human world. But yes, does she need her shields? Absolutely, because she's going to take some big hits along the way. So we're looking at a very interesting election. We're looking at a very interesting election. And just like I said last week, we get to the end of the election, it's going to be such a mess. We're not going to know who actually should be sitting in the Oval Office. And that's going to be a story that will evolve over time, I'm certain, because as you know, my guides give it to me one step at a time, one bit at a time to give to you. So moving into some more of the day-to-day things and what we can do. Right now, we're in some very intense energy in this month of August. And so you may have found a lot of things coming up for you, a lot of endings, a lot of things that you're being pushed to want to finish. You know, where's that book you've been writing for the last year or more? It's like, go ahead and finish it. These are the times to finish the things that you need to finish and complete. Maybe there's a job that needs to end. Maybe there's a relationship that needs to end. It's like, take care of what you need to like complete. Now is the time. Okay. With August, we also get a little bit of a reprieve here, a little bit of that time to get out and to enjoy ourselves and to be safe in the world. Like I've said a million times, it's like, plan those little road trips. Don't go too far from home. This is not a time you want to fly halfway across the world if you can avoid it, because things are very unsettled and unsteady. But taking a little road trip, getting out, enjoying nature, especially because pretty soon we're going to be all locked down, partially because of COVID, but also because there's going to be some situations in the world. There's just going to be uncertainty, and not all places are going to be safe. There's going to be some earth changes. Expect and be prepared for the earth changes, especially as we go deeper into the fall, and especially that October month and November and December and the winter months. Be prepared for the earthquakes. Be prepared for, some volcanic activity, some things that have happened. Be prepared. Have a plan and have your emergency preparedness kit there. Be prepared for the power grids to go down. Okay, so and be prepared to be out of power for quite a while, for days at a time. Okay. This just came through last week. And of course, there was a huge hurricane that hit the East Coast, and some people are still without power, from what I understand. So this is important, because this is going to be happening. And it's not just earth changes. There's also going to be attacks on our grid system. Most importantly, as my guides are reminding me right now, the 4D, 5D consciousness and the 4D, 5D realms cannot hold the same energy. They cannot hold the old infrastructure, the old grids that were set up for 3D. So we're going to see a lot of that stuff slipping away. So what else? This is a good time to get away. It's a good time to plan. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, folks. It's a good time as we move back into like the late fall and into the winter time. That's a good time to like go inside, not just inside your house, but go inside of yourself. This is a time where you should be setting those new intentions. It's a time of manifestation. It's a time of looking at where you want to go and focusing on where you see yourself, where you want to be, and where you want your community and the world at large to be. Really put some energy around creating, manifesting. That's the time to do it. The time we're in right now here in August and September and even into October, it's a time of letting go. And if you don't let go, things may be taken away from you, or they may just be cleared from you, because as you ascend and move into like 4D, 5D consciousness, as you're rising up, you're only taking with you what serves you, and you're leaving behind what no longer serves you. So I think we've covered just about all of the tips for this week on how to get through this ascension. One last thing my guides are reminding me of is this is a good time to really focus on health right now. Detoxing your physical body would be really, really good. It's time to clear that physical body, emotional body. uh, and mental and spiritual body, and spend some time getting them into alignment. We are literally regenerating and recreating the cells of our bodies right now. And of course, we do this constantly. Our bodies do this all the time. And what is the saying? Every 7 years, we have a new body, a new physical body that we've created. But this is a time to just be a little bit more involved with that. Make sure you're eating nutritiously, and getting a little bit of exercise, even just walking, doing some calm meditations, and really setting the stage for what's to come. And also having a practice where you can stay grounded as we move through all of these changing events. And as you stay more in tune with your intuition and with your guides, that's also going to help you to navigate the best for yourself and your family through these times. So that is the message for Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. Big, exciting stuff about to unfold. And once again, I am Rowan Fox, the Tea Leaves and Tarot Parlor. Thank you for joining me here today.